guys, Loma02, currently getting ready to play a game of 93-94 Old School with a black prison deck. Or, I'm sorry, a white prison deck. So, I know you're not going to get the deck tech in the beginning here, because, well, I got the game, and I was like, hell, I'll play the game, and I'd like to record it live. So, you're going to get that afterwards, but as you can tell, lots of Wrath of Gods, some Icy Manipulators, some Kismets. It's a Winter Orb base deck. It is what it is at the end of the day. And obviously turn 1 libraries, never bad. On the draw. Okay. Well, this makes me believe that my opponent has some amount of counterspells in hand. Go ahead and draw here. Just going to play out this Ivory Tower, because if they have counters, cool. If they don't, I'll just start gaining incremental life off of it. Hard telling what we're playing against. Could be the deck. Maybe not. A lot of black mana. Maybe it's Grixis. Alright. Yep, let's gain our life. Okie doke. You'll strip mine. A Howling Mine. I think for now I'm just going to play the Orb out and expect it to get countered. Yep, I'm fine with that. Kind of knew he had it, and we'll let him do it. Not an issue. Now, we could get hemmed here. I think if he was going to hem, he would have hemmed last turn, though. No. Okey-doke. At this point, I'm going to start waiting to draw until his turn, because I don't have any more fast mana. I guess I could just ride an Icy out there. Yeah, let's draw and put an Icy out. We'll do that. Dust to dust. Main deck, obviously, because if Winter Orb is your primary plan for locking down mana in an Eternal format, obviously you need some ways to answer artifacts. Okie doke. Well. I think I am going to mine him here. And I think I'm just going to start locking down his mana with Icy. I'm not going to draw here with Library on my turn. Though I suppose I could. Nah. Do it on his turn. Start locking down mana sources. Just going to do this now so I can basically pass the rest of the turn. I do not have... I guess I do have one instant in my hand. So I shouldn't F6, but... Alright, Mox, cool. Well, do you have like a hymn or something? Cool if they him me, because I'm just going out to 6, back up to 7. That's kind of why I started doing this, because I kind of wanted to play around him. I think here I do just disenchant on end step on this Mox. I know it's kind of a weak use of disenchant, but I would prefer to not discard next turn. And my game plan is, generally speaking, mana denial with this deck. Resource denial. Well, I guess that makes it a little more embarrassing to have done that. I am going to draw up to 8 here. And I think I'm just going to play another Icy out. And say go. Could have gone for Howling Mine plus the Relic Barrier, which is a one-sided draw engine. But, meh. Okay, well, that's going to be a damage right there. Okie doke. So, what is he on? He's got Birds of Paradise in a Volk and Underground Sea deck. Kind of a cool draw because it allows me to get this Relic Barrier out. I'm not going to go for the Gusto on the rest of the cards. I'm just going to tap down the City of Brass and the Birdie Birds. think I'm going to tap my own Howling Mine for now, because I don't really want to give them extra cards. Oops, I actually should have done that earlier. I missed the boat on that, obviously. Counterspell or Mana Drain. Both are acceptable. Yep. I'm going to allow him to draw here. A lot of mana. Of course, my opponent does not know is I'm playing a fairly uncommon card, which is Wrath of God, in this deck. Because of the ability to draw so many cards, I think it tends to make sense. Okay. I assume they get a way to answer either the book or the Ices. I don't know. One of the two. Relic Barrier is actually pretty important here too, as is Howling Mine, but a Howling Mine is not as central in this deck. This deck has a lot of ways to draw. Okay. Is it a Disrupting Scepter? What did he get? I'm assuming it's something... Oh, Brain Geyser, possibly? On me? That's a card to watch out for. Because it could screw up our math and trying to mill him, because I think that's how we're going to go, is try to mill him out. Okay, Recall. What? Pourquoi? Fireball and Birds go to the bin. Yeah, Fireball is pretty bad. Demonic Tutor and... Volcanic? Okay. Kind of a weak recall, but it's not per se what he got. Well, Wrath of God is 1 mana source away. I know I have an alternate that's kind of a weak use of it, but okay, begin sideboarding. Alright, so, well, he's playing Birds, so Tabernacle, I don't think we saw enough of his deck to know. Tabernacle kind of gets me interested. Sir Angels also don't seem terrible, but what do I take out for him? This deck really needs to be retuned. It probably should play 4 Winter Orbs. Huh. Maze of Ith, probably not. What do I like cutting? Probably Mirror. Well, we'll see more of his deck here and figure out what we want to cut. Yeah, I know there should be 4 Winter Orbs in this deck. constructed this deck a long time ago. I haven't retuned it, but I kind of just feel like playing something different this morning. Yeah, this hand's great. Actually got a lot going on. You can almost cast the whole hand in the first turn. It is a keeper. Doesn't have a way to draw. That's the only thing that's kind of going against it. But I am on the draw, and let's see one more card. I don't think you can pitch a hand like this back, though. Okay. Okay, Sylvan Library. Cool. Oh. Okay, well, yeah, I guess they just didn't want to have any of that. I guess they were all in on that thing, and if I had an answer to it, they didn't feel like playing against it. It's a thing. Well, let's try one more. I don't even know what Naya midrange is. I should probably look at this deck. It's probably a deck I built a while ago, too. I don't generally tend to play this in freeform with all the strip mines in them. I do against him, so it just depends. Let's take a look at this. What's Naya midrange look like? Oh, it's aggro. Oh, it's bizarre aggro. Okay, cool. This deck looks fun. Is this a keeper? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It can't cast the pixies, but, you know, it's got a factory, it's got a lions, it's got a bolt. I'm saying yeah to it. Assume he's going to give me a turn. Okay. Well, lions go. Kind of hoping I hit a green source here. It would be nice to cast down some pixies. If I don't, I guess I can take the time to play out the factory and bolt my opponent's face. Okay. I'm trying to draw a bunch of cards here. Okay. Mox. I think I am just going to go to Dome with this right now. Take away a quarter of his life and, you know, hope that this strategy is good enough. Okay, Soul Ring. Mox Sapphire. Time Twister? I'd be cool with that. Probably wouldn't be bad for him. No, just a Prodigal Sorcerer. Well, that's a good card against what I've got going on. Now, it's got haste, I assume. Does it give it haste or no? Can attack as though it had haste. Yeah, I can't activate its ability as though it had haste, I guess. Oh, templating. Well, obviously not going to cast an 8-mount here, but I will get my my last 2 damage in. But I guess you got to look at Savannah Lions like it was a lightning bolt, a better lightning bolt. It was a 4 damage lightning bolt to face, which is not bad. Did its job. Although we'll say this, I do think it's kind of ballsy to play a Prodigal Sorcerer out that, yep, you got it. Okay. You gonna attack me? I don't think it'll attack. No. I should probably turn off auto yields just in case he accidentally does, but... Okay, Sylvan. That was not a horrible draw. Okay, we'll discard this and this, I want to say, and one of these. We'll bolt this thing off the face of the earth. We get a little 2-for-1 there. I mean, yeah, we're down to 3 cards because of Bazaar, but this deck needs to be able to filter its draw. That's what Bazaar is in here. Bazaar is like essentially a one-shot thing with this deck, or maybe 2-shot if you like wait around for a bit. Just filters the draw. on here, I think. Well, the big question is, do I get in there for 2? I think I actually do. Well, you can easily bolt the ape out of the way. Okay, fireball the curd ape. I think again I'm going to attack here. Don't think the Pixies does anything fundamentally different here. I mean, it's either going to trade for the Ley Druid or the Savannah Lions will. So I think getting them down to 9, which is a nice even 3 bolt number, and leaving the land in hand could allow me to Bazaar into, you know, possibly some burn to close out this game. They're probably casting like just monumentally big fat creatures. Okay, well, at this point, I think I am going to do this. Because I think their draw has been kind of garbo. I'm going to counter this. If you're countering this, is fine. Yeah, cool. I mean, not the coolest way for them to have countered it, but... And block with your Ley Druid. I don't think you want to take 4 here. Yeah, he agrees. Which, I think if you did not, I think you'd be crazy. Down to 7. Okay, gets the 2 mana off of the drain here. Okay. Well, they're hoping to Mise here. That will get saved in hand. This is going to get blocked. Just chumped. It should, I think. No? Okay. Well, I don't think mana's a constraint right now. Yeah, okay. Let's kind of see what we were going to draw into. Well, nothing interesting. For a little while, at least. Oh, well, no sideboard. Yeah, this is obviously an experimental deck, or a deck that I was working on. So, we're just going to go in on a fairly focused aggro deck and just hope to get there. This is Naya. Naya, I don't think tends to be as aggressive. I think it tends to either be like a channel fireball based deck or has that capability in it. I guess it is, or it's more mid-rangey. I guess it can be aggro. The reason I kind of like it, like the things that are going for it, is that it does have the most efficient creatures in the game at this time. So as you can see, we're playing 4x Kurape and 4x Savannah Lions, both just models of efficiency, like the most efficient cards probably printed at the time. You even have some Ghazban Ogres, which are bad, but in this matchup, look like they're going to do as well because our opponent appears to be kind of a ramp deck. Yeah, I mean, Ghazban Ogre. The card is not good, guys. I would never try to tell you it is, but in this deck, it kind of makes sense. I mean, it's a 2/2 for 1. It's kind of like a Goblin Guide of the time, or like, what's a better example? Goblin Cadets of the time. That's going to be an issue, though. Play out the Plateau. I'm going to have to get their life down. They're going to gain 1 here after 21, so I can't play the Ghazban out because it does not have haste. So hopefully they play a creature card of some sort, like just a ramp card, and I can blow it up. Nope, that's not one of those. Going pixies here. Yeah, the Ivory Tower was actually kind of relevant here because it limited me playing my bad card, Ghazban Ogre. But we should be able to get a hit in next turn, hopefully disenchant one of these two things. You know, I think the Sylvan's probably more relevant, but... Okay, Mox. Time Vault. Oh, they're trying to animate it. Okay. I'm going to assume they don't have the ability to do this. If they do that, it really sucks, but... And this little fella. Then we've got double strip mine and disenchant next turn, which seems okay. Alright, well, they're going to get an extra turn out of it, but they're not drawing off of the Sylvan. And they're down a card, so they're not gaining life to take my Ghazban Ogre, etc. When I see instill energy, yeah, that's fine. Stay with me. When I see instill energy, I think he probably has power artifact in his deck, and he's trying to do that combo with it. No fear right now. I'm not going to try to disenchant the vault. Doesn't have enough cards in hand yet to start gaining life off the Ivory Tower, so being at 15, I think it's going to be irrelevant anyway, so I have 6 power on the board. Or not power artifact, what's the card called? Animate Artifact? Yeah, Animate Artifact. Sorry, guys. Yeah, power artifact's completely different card. Alright, well, they're at 6 cards, which, you know, is going to start gaining them some life, but it obviously did not hit lands. Well, that card is obviously one of those ones that can be dead weight in the deck. Is situationally okay in some cases, but right now is god-awful, unless I just really want to make my opponent discard. But I think I like where I'm sitting right now, so I'm going to take away their life gain capability, and if they have a way to, you know, go off with this Time Vault, cool. I'm assuming that risk, you know. One of the problems I generally tend to see in Dan's list, I think, is mana consistency. I'd really have to look at, like, how his mana bases look. You know, I'm not trying to knock the guy. I just think he oftentimes runs into issues with mana in them. And it could just be he gets savagely unlucky. I don't know. I tend to be very big on mana consistency, though. I like to build my decks in a way that, like, you know, even if I have to eschew some of the power level of my deck, especially in this format where there's no fetch lands or brainstorms with fetch lands to fix mana, you know, like i.e. like, you know, in Legacy where you can play like the check pile. Yeah, got him there. You know, you run into situations where if you don't have good mana, you're just not going to play a game in this format. Even if you have like a high powered deck, you know, but I do think consistency is important in it. So, anyways, this is the Naya mid-range deck. I'd call it more Naya Aggro. 22 lands, 2 Bazaars. The Bazaars are actually interesting. That's not my idea. It's not a novel idea by me. I was reading an article on using them in a more aggressive build to essentially, you know, because the deck is already automatically kind of eschewing card advantage, but to use it to get rid of deadweight cards, but still have some high power end options that you could feasibly put in the deck and still get rid of to stay along a more focused game plan, and also just get rid of lands. So, you know, we're running 22 lands in this deck. There's actually no Moxen. This is an unpowered deck, so it's actually very cheap. Well, correction, it's cheap on Moto. Is it cheap in real life? Well, you're still looking at a bunch of plateaus, a bunch of savannas, some strip mines, some taigas, some factories, 2 bazaars. Although, one suggestion I could proffer is that you can turn it into a land tax deck, which is still not a cheap card in real life, and you can play it that way. But yeah, this is a completely unpowered old school deck, and as you can see, it can do okay. Given we're playing against a more, let's say, situational combo deck. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to do the Animate Artifact Instill Energy combo on Time Vault, which is really the only combo that can go infinite with it. I think Twiddle tends to be a little more elegant because with Howling Mine, really all you need is a bunch of draw steps, and you can get into another Twiddle and just keep looping it, and eventually time push to your graveyard into your library with as many permanents as you can get on board, and then just win that way. So this deck's interesting. I mean, I could go for an Erhnam package. Erhnam's probably a little more pricey than Preacher is in real life, but Preacher's also not bad. In a creature-heavy meta or in the mirror, Preacher's probably great. I mean, it's a 1/1 for 3, but it does steal, their creatures. In this format, creatures tend to be as popular, so if they get 1 down, like, you're probably getting that 1, and if it's like a Serendib Freed or a Serendib Djinn or a Juggernaut or a Sira Angel, that's fine. It tends to be pretty darn good. But anyways, this is the Naya mid-range deck, and then I'll show you real fast the Prison deck. The Prison deck, I'm kind of embarrassed to show anyone because it's kind of an untuned list right now. So is the other one I was kind of playing too, like, test builds that I've been running around. This one's a little more of my creation, but I did build it kind of fast, and, I probably failed to realize how central Winter Orb was to this game plan, and probably need one more, likely at the expense of maybe one Wrath to sideboard. Just have the transformation over to Sira Angel, as you can see, so you can go more aggressive from a creatureless build. Then just has a lot of the power, like the balances, what I'd call the power white guards, disenchants the swords. 2 black vices, so the way it actually wins, this is a complete lockout prison deck. Really the only way it can win is by milling them or by utilizing black vice, generally speaking with Mirror Universe, to lock them out, or to kill them with damage. And then you have 3 Sira Angels in the sideboard if you just want to damage them. We have a Karma as well, which I guess I was just testing out because I was probably playing a lot of mono black at the same time. And, that can, over a long enough time frame, if you're able to kind of lock them up long enough, kill a mono black player if they have 2 to 3 swamps in play. Another Wrath of God. Probably don't need 3 Wraths of God. I was playing a lot of creatures for a while, and I kind of made this deck to stymie the creature decks. Do I think it's as good against, like, the blue control decks? I don't know. It's more situational. You really need to cause a fight on their end step with, like, Disenchant or something like that. Or try to 2-spell them out. Like, cause a fight on their end step with Disenchant, get their mana down, and then try to 2-spell them on the next turn with, like, a Black Vice and, like, a Manipulator or something like that. It's going to be a tougher matchup. Given by that point Black Vice is probably a little more dead because they're probably depleting their hand. I think it's great. No, I think this deck could use a little bit of work, quite a bit actually. But I kind of want to make a non-blue based prison deck, and this is what I came up with. This Naya deck though actually is pretty interesting. I probably should finalize the board and then look at more options in the main. Pretty cool that it plays no power. I could play it, but and it probably would make the deck a little bit better. I mean, I don't know if Moxen per se would make it better, because it only has a few 2-drops that it needs to cast, that would want to cast turn 1, to include like the Argothian Pixies and the Sylvan Library. But I think a Black Lotus would be good in this deck, because I mean you can just play, like 2 Savannah Lions and a Swords to Plowshares, or 2 Curd Apes and a Bolt, or hell, even 3 Ghazban Ogres. So, interesting deck. I don't think a lot of folks would support playing Ghazban Ogre, especially in a deck that's running Swords to Plowshares, but, it can be situationally fine, because it is a 2/2 for 1 mana, which is not bad. It's pretty good. What else does this thing have issues with? Well, another big issue is going to be City in a Bottle. So, I guess not terribly, because, I mean, Preachers from the Dark, Argothian Pixies is Antiquities, Savannah Lions core set, but our 2, like, biggest, kind of hardest-hitting, efficient threats, Curd Ape and Ghazban Ogre, are both from Arabian Nights, which does limit the mana to some extent. Obviously, Bazaar Baghdad, same story, but Bazaar doesn't even make mana in this deck, so it's not central, but enabling to it. The deck's fine on 20 lands, and having 2 additional that don't tap for mana, can make them situationally quite good. generally speaking, they're always going to be good if the game goes long. If the game goes short, you don't ever want to see it because you just run them over, and that means you're winning anyways. And generally speaking, maybe the last card being dead doesn't matter. Maybe. But if you go to the mid or late game where this deck's not going to shine, Bazaar could at a minimum allow you to get rid of garbage like, you don't want extra Sylvans if you're getting beat down, and you don't have the ability to draw off of them. You probably don't want Preachers against, like, the deck unless they've sideboarded into some number of Seer Angels, and, you often you just want to try to find the right cards, which in that case would probably be, like, some combination of Bolts and Chain Lightnings just to double spell them and force them to have 2 counter spells. So if they don't, sometimes you get them. But both kind of cool decks. I hope you guys enjoyed this short live series, and I apologize again for having the deck text at the end, but as you can tell, these decks are not tuned. They are kind of shell decks right now that I'm working on, and this is just some play testing to get them out there and kind of play test on them. I don't think either are tier 1 archetypes, but they can both do well as well. Just gotta get a little bit lucky, which we generally tend to. I've been drawing Library of Alexandria like a champion recently, and it's the best card in the format, so it's gonna win you a lot of games if you get it down first turn and you haven't mulliganed into oblivion to get it. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and take care now.